Hello SVH family, we are finally back. The Omega project has begun and it is a flaming hot mess here. It has literally been raining nonstop and before we got here, so as we wander around the site, we wanted to make sure we started off so you could see the improvements that we make from the moment we got here until the time we leave. So right here is our spaza shop. Vicky, there's Vic, yes, all right, and Joe and John and Stanley and Dallas. So we got a bit of a dream team here. They're setting up edge forms for what will be the spaza shop. The spaza shop will be a container that lands on top of here, and you can kind of see the fence behind right where Vicky's up against, and the community will be able to come up to the edge of the spaza shop. It's like a little AM PM, if you will. So it's gonna be pretty cool. Little business generator here for Nourish. Okay, follow me. This is where things get really, really messy. Then you look downside here, they had so much rain, the ground is so saturated, and we have to bring in a lot of material because as you see when we get to the bottom, we're lifting part of the bottom of the site substantially. So to get the material down, we've been driving heavy trucks in on the wet road, has just caused a mess. So now we have to bring in material to build our road back up. So that's project numero uno. Here is the first platform. So this was the original foundation that we had for the office building. It was unfortunately burned down due to a combination of faulty solar panel converter and far too much lacquer on dried out pallet boards on the inside of a shipping container, and it burned to an absolute oblivion. So it's okay, now we're gonna rebuild it, and this is gonna be a stick frame assembly. We have our friend Jay and our architect, special shout out to him, Chad from Boise, who has donated all of his time to be here and to help us with this particular phase of the project. He's so excited, him and his wife Jeanette, and we're so thankful to have them. And they're leading this with a group of our local team. And so the substructure was done by our friend Norman and the great work that they do and have done for us in the past. So now we have a platform to work on. So the framing of this deck will begin. We'll get this whole bottom enclosed. It'll be super nice to keep little critters and what things that want to get underneath there. But as you can see, we've got a lot of messiness here. This is our electrical trench. You know, it doesn't pass the mustard anywhere, but once we get more topsoil over it, we're actually going to pour this in concrete so that we don't keep running into the same problem. What is exciting is you can see our landscape work that we've done over the years is now just fully taking off and everything's looking super great. Our Julie Jensen Plaza, beautiful as ever. She holds a special place in our heart. We are trimming, I don't know if many of you can zoom in, but there is literal thorns that are about 3 inches long on this tree, and they keep grabbing people. So I asked, can we do a little pruning? Because there's generally small people, but if you're of any size at all, you get a thorn in your face. Charlie, here's the main man.
Oh,
Charlie, say hi.
What's up, everyone?
Charlie is the superintendent from Boise. He's leading this whole effort. He's done a great job and super excited to be here. He is running around like a wild man. So you can see here, when we got here this morning, there were piles of this crappy sand and rock mix. So we're spreading it out. We're gonna have more dropped in here to fill in these holes, and then we're gonna have trucks roll in to help compact it so that we have a workable surface. And this is where things are really fun. So Maddie, go ahead and give a sweep around over there. That is the piles of material that we have delivered. Some of our great local teams. Some of our friends have been here multiple times. Love to have them back. All of this is getting dragged down. We also have piles for sand, for hand mixing concrete. We have stones here. We've got concrete bags, cement bags. We've got a large mixer here because we've got a truck coming today theoretically, but to further complicate things in South Africa, they have experienced so much rain in January. They had a 100-year rain event in January, and then they've had a second rain event the week before we got here, and it washed out one of the main roads. So for us to get our teams here on site, we have to go through the communities. It's an additional about hour. And the roads, which are already the worst you could ever imagine, have somehow become worse than before. However, our spirits are high, and it's day one, so how could they not be? But it's complicating how we get material and logistics, and it's important that we have our material here. We've stockpiled as much of it as we can. Inevitably, we're gonna run up short on some things, so we're trying to be proactive in getting stuff, because if we don't, we may not get it for a day or two, and that's problematic. And then what you can see over here is our team is setting, we got Ozzy, Nick from FOT, Kevin from ASI, Ozzy from Ox, and some of our local team here. And what we are doing is we are literally building an edge form that wraps around these columns. So our friend Norman set the columns. This is the creche building. A creche is a preschool, and so that's what is going here. And then this material gets dropped into this area, and here we have a structure. It is a galvanized frame that'll be a rib cage that we actually shipped over from the Hananani project years ago, and so we're going to put that to use. And so that's why we've got our welders here. We're erecting that, we're welding it in place so that we can turn this into a makerspace. So there's an enormous amount of work to do. And we have 5 fun days to do it in. So are we feeling good? Absolutely, we are, and we're feeling very optimistic, as we always do. But it holds to be a very exciting, promising week. It is now starting to feel a bit humid because it's been raining, and the sun is now poking through. So that'll be another fun thing to play with. But anyway, for now, we will call it good, and we will see you all later at the end of the day.